Welcome, everyone. Today, I have a story that will shock you. This is perfect for improving your English listening and reading skills, and I promise you will be amazed by what you hear. In today's world, some leaders govern democratically, while others rule with absolute power. These ruthless rulers, known as dictators, control everything within their countries. One such figure is Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea. Some call him the most dangerous man alive, while others consider him a mystery. But who is he? Where did he come from? How did he rise to power in one of the most secretive nations in the world? And what shocking truths are hidden behind his rule? Today, I will take you through his entire life story, starting from the day he was born. And let me warn you, his life is not what you expect. Kim Jong-un was born on January 8, 1984, but here's the first mystery. North Korea never confirmed his exact birth year. Some sources claim he was born in 1983, while others insist it was 1984. Why the secrecy? Because in North Korea, everything about the leader is kept hidden. He was reportedly born in Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea, but some reports suggest that he may have been born in Switzerland. Why would a North Korean dictator be born in Europe? This is where things start to get strange. His father was Kim Jong-il, the previous supreme leader of North Korea, and his grandfather was Kim Il-sung, the founder of the country. This meant Kim Jong-un was born into absolute power. However, even though he was the son of a dictator, his early life was a complete mystery. For many years, nobody even knew he existed. Imagine being a child destined to rule a nation, yet no one even knows about you. That was Kim Jong-un's childhood. His father, Kim Jong-il, had multiple children, but he kept Kim Jong-un hidden from the public. Why? Because his father had many wives and mistresses, and Kim Jong-un's mother, Ko Yong-hui, was not his father's official wife. She was a secret lover, which meant that when Kim Jong-un was born, he was never meant to be the next leader. His older half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was originally chosen as the next ruler. But fate had other plans. While most North Koreans suffered from extreme poverty, hunger, and strict government control, Kim Jong-un lived a life of luxury. He had toys from Europe, expensive food, private tutors, and the best video games. However, even with all these privileges, his life was far from normal. His father was obsessed with control. Kim Jong-un and his siblings were not allowed to have friends. They couldn't interact with outsiders, and every aspect of their lives was monitored by their father's guards. But here's where things get even stranger. Kim Jong-un was not raised in North Korea. Instead, he was sent to Switzerland for his education. From 1996 to 2001, he lived in Bern, Switzerland, under a fake identity. He was officially registered as the son of a North Korean diplomat, and no one knew he was the future dictator of North Korea. Surprisingly, his life in Switzerland was normal. He attended school like any other child, developed a love for basketball, and became a huge fan of the NBA, especially Michael Jordan. He enjoyed playing video games, watching action movies, and eating cheese pizza and hamburgers, foods that ordinary North Koreans could never dream of having. But despite the freedom he experienced in Switzerland, Kim Jong-un was not a good student. He was lazy, uninterested in school, and often misbehaved. His teachers noted that he struggled with math and science, but he enjoyed art and sports. However, what stood out the most was that he did not like Switzerland. Even though he was living in a free country, he still admired his father's dictatorship. He would sketch military tanks and war scenes in his notebooks, and tell his classmates that one day he would become a great leader. Even in the West, his mind was controlled by North Korean ideology. Then, in 2001, he suddenly disappeared. At the age of 17, Kim Jong-un was taken back to North Korea. The reason remains a mystery. Some believe that his father saw in him the perfect successor, a son who had no interest in democracy and was completely loyal to the family's rule. Others believe that Kim Jong-il had already decided that his youngest son would be North Korea's next ruler. One thing is certain: Kim Jong-un was no longer the same boy who played basketball in Switzerland. He was transformed. Upon returning to North Korea, he was forced to train under military generals. He studied North Korean history and politics, learning how to speak like a leader, command an army, and show no emotions. Slowly, the fun-loving teenager who had once enjoyed Western culture was turned into a ruthless dictator in training. But there was one major obstacle. His older half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was still the official heir to North Korea. Kim Jong-un was only the second choice. So how did he rise to power? This is where things take a shocking turn. Kim Jong-il was closely observing both of his sons, trying to determine who was truly fit to lead North Korea. He wanted a strong, ruthless leader who would remain completely loyal to the family's legacy. But Kim Jong-nam was not the son he wanted. Unlike Kim Jong-un, his older brother was fascinated by Western culture. He was interested in computers, movies, and even democracy. But his biggest mistake came in 2001 when he was caught trying to enter Japan using a fake passport. His reason? He wanted to visit Disneyland in Tokyo. This was a massive embarrassment for Kim Jong-il. A future North Korean leader caught sneaking into Japan for a theme park. It was unacceptable. Kim Jong-il was furious, and that one mistake changed everything. Kim Jong-nam was banished. His father sent him into exile, and from that moment on, he was never considered the heir again. He was forced to live in China and later Malaysia, far away from North Korean politics. This was Kim Jong-un's golden opportunity. With his older brother gone, he was now next in line to rule North Korea. He continued his intensive training, preparing for the day when he would take control of the nation. The transformation was complete. The young boy who once played basketball in Switzerland had now become the heir to the most secretive dictatorship in the world. The world had no idea what was coming next. Once Kim Jong-il decided that Kim Jong-un would be his successor, he ensured that his son was trained in brutality and absolute control. He gave him full authority over North Korea's military, exposed him to public executions to teach him fear and dominance, and drilled into him the belief that mercy was a sign of weakness. But that wasn't all. Kim Jong-il began shaping Kim Jong-un's public image even before he officially took power. His face started appearing in government buildings. Songs were composed in his honor, and schoolchildren were taught that he was a brilliant leader. Here's what makes this shocking. Kim Jong-un was only in his early 20s. He had no real experience in politics or military strategy, yet his father was preparing him to rule a country armed with nuclear weapons. However, Kim Jong-il's health was rapidly declining. He suffered multiple strokes and was losing control, and North Korea urgently needed a new leader. Kim Jong-un realized that if he didn't act fast, he might lose his chance at power. Then, in 2011, everything changed. On December 17, 2011, North Korea's supreme leader, Kim Jong-il, died. But here's where it gets suspicious. The official reports claimed that he died from a heart attack while traveling on a train, but many experts believe he was actually poisoned. There were no clear medical reports, and some even suspect that Kim Jong-un himself may have accelerated his father's death to seize power more quickly. The moment Kim Jong-il died, North Korea plunged into chaos. The country had no formal system to choose a new leader. Power belonged to whoever could seize control first. Kim Jong-un saw this as his moment. With the military already under his command, he declared himself supreme leader. His father's closest advisors were shocked, but they had no choice. They had to obey him. And just like that, a 27-year-old man with no real experience became the leader of one of the world's most secretive and dangerous nations. But the real challenge wasn't just gaining power, it was keeping it. Kim Jong-un knew that his biggest threat was his own family. His older half-brother, Kim Jong-nam, was still alive and living in exile. If the people of North Korea ever discovered that Kim Jong-il's eldest son was still alive, it could spark a rebellion. So, Kim Jong-un did something unthinkable. On February 13, 2017, Kim Jong-nam was walking through an airport in Malaysia when two young women approached him and wiped a mysterious liquid on his face. Within minutes, he began shaking, sweating, and gasping for air. He collapsed and died in less than 20 minutes. The cause? VX nerve agent, one of the deadliest poisons known to man. It was a perfectly planned assassination. The two women who carried out the attack had no idea they were committing murder. Kim Jong-un's agents had tricked them, telling them they were part of a prank show. But this assassination wasn't just about eliminating his brother, it was a message to the world. Nobody was safe from Kim Jong-un, not even his own family. But Kim Jong-un didn't stop there. To maintain absolute control, he had to eliminate anyone who could challenge him. In 2013, he ordered the execution of his own uncle, Jang Song-thaek, by firing squad. The official reason? Treason. The real reason? Jang was too powerful, and Kim Jong-un saw him as a threat. Hundreds of government officials were publicly executed to instill fear in the population. Some were killed with anti-aircraft guns, a method so brutal that their bodies were torn apart. Even top military generals, who had served his father for decades, were not safe. If Kim Jong-un suspected that someone wasn't completely loyal, they were eliminated immediately. By 2018, he had removed over 400 high-ranking officials, ensuring that nobody could challenge his rule. But his reign of terror didn't stop at political rivals. Under Kim Jong-un's leadership, North Korea became even more oppressive. Thousands of people were sent to concentration camps, forced to work until they died. Entire families were punished if one member was suspected of disloyalty. While millions of North Koreans starved, Kim Jong-un lived in luxury, dining on imported delicacies, drinking expensive wines, and driving luxury cars. The country was drowning in fear. People were forbidden from criticizing the government, and even watching South Korean TV dramas could result in execution. But the most terrifying part, Kim Jong-un wasn't just controlling people, he was brainwashing them. In every North Korean school, children are taught that Kim Jong-un is a godlike leader. People are forced to cry during his speeches, or risk being punished. If someone fails to show enough love for the leader, their entire family can be sent to a labor camp. His level of control and manipulation is unlike anything the world has ever seen. Kim Jong-un's secret personal life. We all recognize Kim Jong-un as a ruthless dictator, a man who rules North Korea with an iron grip. But what if I told you that his personal life is just as shocking, mysterious, and unbelievable as his political rule? Kim Jong-un's wife, Ri Sol-ju, is one of the most secretive first ladies in the world. Before marrying Kim Jong-un, she was a famous singer in North Korea. She was part of the Unhasu Orchestra, a prestigious musical group that performed for North Korea's elite. Some reports claim that Kim Jong-un became obsessed with her after seeing one of her performances and forced her into marriage. But here's where it gets even stranger. After their marriage, she suddenly disappeared from public life. For months, sometimes even years, she was nowhere to be seen. Rumors spread. Some believed she had been killed, while others thought she was locked away in a secret palace. Then, without warning, she reappeared, looking completely different. Some suspect she underwent plastic surgery to match Kim Jong-un's standards. Kim Jong-un has children, but no one knows how many. Some reports claim he has 3 children with Ri Sol-ju. The first child is believed to be a boy, possibly his successor. The second is a girl, and the third child's gender is unknown. But here's the biggest mystery. Kim Jong-un has never officially introduced his children to the world. Why? Because he fears that his enemies might try to assassinate them. He believes that keeping them hidden makes them safer and more powerful in the future. However, in 2022, something unexpected happened. His daughter, Kim Joo-ae, was seen in public for the first time. She appeared at a missile launch, standing beside her father. This moment raised even more questions. Was he introducing her as his successor? Or was this simply a warning to the world that his family's rule will continue for generations? One thing is certain. Kim Jong-un has built a nation of fear, secrecy, and absolute control. The world watches, waiting to see what happens next in the life of the most mysterious dictator alive. Kim Jong-un wants his daughter to be unique, so unique that no one else in North Korea is allowed to have her name. Reports suggest that he has banned anyone from using the name Joo-ae. But does this mean she is being prepared to rule North Korea in the future? Only time will tell. While Kim Jong-un's people suffer in poverty, he lives like a king. He owns multiple luxury mansions across North Korea, each designed for different seasons. He has a private island where he enjoys lavish parties, jet skiing, and extravagant vacations. His collection of luxury cars includes Rolls-Royces, Mercedes-Benz vehicles, and an armored train for traveling in complete safety. One of his biggest passions is basketball. He even invited former NBA star Dennis Rodman to North Korea to play with him. But while Kim Jong-un indulges in luxury, his people struggle to find food, survive harsh winters, and live in constant fear. Despite controlling an entire country, Kim Jong-un lives in constant paranoia. His biggest fear: assassination. He never eats a meal unless it is tested for poison. He frequently moves between different residences, ensuring that no one knows his exact location. He doesn't even trust his own guards, constantly replacing them so that no one becomes too familiar with his routine. Even with wealth, power, and luxury, Kim Jong-un never truly feels safe. He knows that his people, his military, and even his own family could turn against him at any moment. Though Kim Jong-un presents himself as powerful, his personal life is shrouded in secrecy, fear, and danger. His wife may not be as happy as she appears. His children may not be safe from future struggles for power. His obsession with luxury has created hatred among his starving citizens. Despite projecting strength, Kim Jong-un is deeply paranoid. He fears betrayal from those closest to him, his generals, ministers, and even his own relatives. He knows that many dictators in history were overthrown by those they trusted most. To maintain his iron grip on power, Kim Jong-un established one of the world's most ruthless surveillance systems. Government officials, military officers, and even ordinary citizens are constantly monitored. Phones are tapped, conversations are recorded, and even a single expression of dissatisfaction can lead to execution. One of the most infamous aspects of Kim Jong-un's rule is the Pleasure Squad. This is a secret group of young women who are hand-picked, trained, and forced to entertain the supreme leader and his top officials. These women live in complete secrecy, knowing that if they speak about their experiences, they could be killed. Some defectors claim that when these women become too old to serve, they are either sent to labor camps or simply disappear. In North Korea, Kim Jong-un is not just a leader, he is worshipped as a god-like figure. State-controlled media spreads bizarre myths about him. Citizens are taught that he never needs to use the bathroom because his body is so pure that he can control the weather with his emotions, and that he wrote 1,500 books while studying in Switzerland. Some even claim that he could drive a car before he could walk. These stories sound absurd, but North Koreans are forbidden from questioning them. Doubting the supreme leader is a crime punishable by death. The horror of North Korean prison camps. While Kim Jong-un enjoys unimaginable luxury, thousands of North Koreans are suffering in horrific labor camps. These camps are as brutal as Nazi concentration camps. Entire families, including children, are sent there if just one person is suspected of disloyalty. Prisoners are forced to work 16-hour days with barely any food. Beatings and executions are daily occurrences. Starvation is so extreme that some prisoners are forced to eat rats, insects, or even the flesh of dead prisoners just to survive. One defector who escaped described how guards forced prisoners to burn the bodies of their dead cellmates and then spread the ashes over fields as fertilizer. The North Korean government denies these camps exist, but satellite images and testimonies from survivors prove the horrifying truth. The world knows what's happening, but no one dares to stop him. In 2020, Kim Jong-un disappeared from public view for several weeks, sparking rumors that he was gravely ill or even dead. Some reports suggested that he had undergone a failed heart surgery, while others claimed he had suffered a stroke due to his extreme weight gain and unhealthy lifestyle. Then, suddenly, he reappeared, but something was different. His face looked thinner, and he moved differently. Some experts believe that he uses body doubles to conceal his declining health. Others even suggest that the real Kim Jong-un is dead, and the person seen in public is an impersonator. While these theories remain unproven, they reveal just how mysterious Kim Jong-un's life is. Even the world's most powerful intelligence agencies struggle to uncover the full truth. Kim Jong-un has built an empire of fear, eliminating anyone who dares to challenge him. He has executed his own family members, enslaved his own people, and created a country where no one can question him. But what if I told you that his greatest enemy isn't the outside world, but his own country? For years, Kim Jong-un controlled all information inside North Korea. His people only saw what he wanted them to see. There was no internet, no social media, and no outside news. But then, something unexpected happened. Small USB drives containing foreign movies and music began smuggling their way into North Korea from China. Young North Koreans secretly watched South Korean dramas, realizing that the outside world was nothing like they had been told. Some even risked their lives to listen to international radio stations, desperate to hear the truth. When Kim Jong-un discovered this, he was furious. He introduced a new law, making it punishable by death to watch South Korean content. But by then, it was too late. A new generation of North Koreans had begun questioning his lies. Whispers of rebellion spread in secret. Could this be the beginning of the end for Kim Jong-un? The world is watching and waiting to see what happens next. Kim Jong-un knew that he couldn't hold on to power without the military, but here's the shocking truth. Even his own generals no longer trust him. He is constantly replacing his top military officers, afraid that they might plot against him. Some high-ranking generals have mysteriously disappeared. Were they executed? Sent to labor camps? No one knows. In 2021, reports surfaced suggesting that even North Korea's most powerful officials secretly despise him, but they remain silent out of fear. However, the greatest threat to his rule is the possibility of the military turning against him. If that happens, his regime could fall overnight. And guess what? It may already be happening. For years, rumors have spread that Kim Jong-un uses body doubles to make public appearances whenever he is sick or afraid of assassination. Here's why people believe this. His weight and facial features seem to change drastically. One day, he appears heavier, and the next, he looks thinner. In some public appearances, his ears and teeth appear different, as if someone else is impersonating him. Experts believe that he has at least 2 or 3 lookalikes who have been trained to act exactly like him. If this is true, it means that the world may not have seen the real Kim Jong-un in a long time. So where is he? Is he hiding? Is he already dead? Despite presenting himself as strong, Kim Jong-un is in extremely poor health. His weight has become a serious issue, with some experts estimating that he weighs over 140 kg 310 lbs. He reportedly suffers from heart disease and severe gout, a painful condition caused by his luxurious diet of cheese, alcohol, and fatty foods. If Kim Jong-un dies or is overthrown, who will take power? His sister, Kim Yo-jong, is the most feared woman in North Korea. Some believe she is just as ruthless as her brother, if not worse. Others suspect that she is already controlling the country behind the scenes. Another possibility is that the military will attempt to seize control, but that could lead to chaos or even a civil war. If that happens, China and the US could get involved, triggering an international crisis. But the most terrifying scenario, if North Korea collapses, millions of people who have lived under dictatorship their entire lives will suddenly be free. But without food, money, or resources, the country could face one of the worst humanitarian disasters in history. For now, Kim Jong-un remains in power, but history has proven that no dictator rules forever. Some believe that his health will eventually kill him, others think he will be betrayed by his own people, and some are convinced that one day North Korea will rise up and overthrow him. What do you think? Will Kim Jong-un stay in power, or is his downfall coming sooner than expected? If you want to understand how people live under Kim Jong-un's dictatorship, along with more shocking truths about North Korea, I have already uploaded a detailed video. Make sure to watch it. This is the shocking and unbelievable story of Kim Jong-un, a leader who built his empire through fear, but now faces the greatest threat of all, his own people.